Good afternoon and welcome to King Arena for today's matchup between the 14-6 Wheaton Thunder and the 17-0 Christopher Newport Captains. We're going to shoot it down to the floor right now for the starting lineups and the national anthem, and we'll be right back with you for today's exciting matchup. Thanks for joining us here on WTSN.
National anthem. Here are the starting lineups for this afternoon's game. First for the visiting captains of Christopher Newport University. Number 0, a 5'10" senior from Clarksburg, Maryland, Felicia McInnes. A 5'1" sophomore from Lorton, Virginia, number 3, Gabby San Diego. Number 15, a 5'8" senior from Pequosin, Virginia, Sandra Fan. Number 32, a 5'10" junior from Williamsburg, Virginia, Anaya Simmons. And number 55, a 6'2" senior from Alexandria, Virginia, Natalie Terwilliger. The captains are coached by Bill Broderick. Here are the starters for your Wheaton College Thunder. Number 4, a 5'8" sophomore from Victoria, Minnesota, Lily Schwen. A 5'10" senior from Wheaton North High School, number 22, Hannah Swider. A 5'11" freshman from Northfield, Minnesota, number 25, Annika Richardson. Number 31, a 6'1" junior from Coopersburg, Pennsylvania, Ellie Castle. And number 34, a 5'10" sophomore from Asheville, North Carolina, Caroline Sicking. The Thunder is coached by Kent Madsen, assisted by Katie Cuthbert and Annie Gensler. The officials for today's game, Ronald Quirk, Paul Novak, and Chris Harrow.
Welcome back, everyone, to this afternoon's game between the home Wheaton Thunder and the number 1 ranked Christopher Newport University out of Virginia. We're excited to bring you this afternoon's matchup between the home Wheaton Thunder and Christopher Newport University. Both teams are getting ready for tip-off here, and we're going to get right into some women's basketball action for you.
Yeah, this will be a good one tonight, Josh. The last time these two teams met was in 2003 when Wheaton traveled down to Newport News, Virginia, and they actually beat the captains in that matchup, but this will be a little bit different tonight. Christopher Newport number 1 in the country. Wheaton currently unranked as Wheaton wins the tip, and Lily Schwinn will start with the ball.
Annika Richardson will start the game with a 3-point attempt that's a little long, but Ellie Castle picks up the offensive rebound. Back to Castle for her mid-range jumper, which is just a little short. Christopher Newport ends up with the ball. They'll try and score on their first offensive possession. That's Natalie Terwilliger for Christopher Newport opening up their scoring.
Terwilliger averaging about 10 points per game right now. That's exactly what the captains want, is her in the paint scoring, and that's what they do best. They press and steal the ball, as we just saw with number 15, Sandra Fan, their highest scorer, getting that ball and getting to the hoop.
Yeah, Wheaton's going to need to adjust well against that press from Christopher Newport if they're going to keep that up all game. We saw right there an early press resulted in Fan getting an easy look at the basket off of the steal.
Yeah, that press is what this captain's team is known for. It's called Captain's Chaos, and that's what they do best. They average 30 turnovers, or they force 30 turnovers a game, and so we're going to see them trying to get in the Thunder's head tonight.
Natalie Terwilliger lets go a three-point attempt that's off to the left of the rim. Hannah Swider, her passes does not find the intended recipient. Earlier we had Caroline Sicking score a nice basket off a layup to get Wheaton in the scoring column for the first time this game. And that was Felicia McInnes from the corner for the Captains, making her first shot attempt of the game. That's a three-pointer for Christopher Newport. We'll put them up 5, and Hannah Swider will get called for the walk there, getting just a little bit tripped up against the press here from the Captains.
Yeah, Wheaton already with 3 turnovers just about 2 minutes into this game, so they're coming out a little nervous tonight. Of course, playing the #1 team in the country, you can expect some nerves, but they got to clean that up if they want this to be more of a game. As the Captains now inbound the ball here.
Good ball movement from Christopher Newport here, getting the ball around the three-point line, trying to find an open shooter. Good defense from the Thunder here, holding Christopher Newport away from a shot. That'll be Natalie Terwilliger again with a three-point shot, no good.
Looks like we have a foul here on 25, Annika Richardson down low. Yep, looks like she just reached in there. She'll give the ball back to the Captains.
It'll be Gabby San Diego inbounding for the Captains. She gets it to her Terwilliger, back to San Diego. And Hannah Swider with the defensive intensity, bringing it right back in the face of the Captains. Her spin move layup attempt underneath looked good, but just did not come off the right way. Still great defense by Swider on that one. Gabby San Diego with an impressive pass down low to Terwilliger, but the Thunder end up with it after some impressive defense. Good work by Lily Schwen working against the press. Hannah Swider will unload for a mid-range jumper, and it's good.
A great series of events there for the Thunder. Caroline Sicking getting on the ground, gritting it out for her team, grabbing that ball and able to pass it to Schwen, who's able to get it down the court to Swider for a nice 15-footer. That's exactly what this team needs right now. They need that energy and that grit if they want to pull it out tonight.
And no surprise that Hannah Swider being the one that's brought that so early in this game. She's so well known among her team and the Wheaton fan base for her intensity, her veteran leadership. She brought the grit on that defensive play by her getting that steal. She didn't finish with the bucket, but she made good on it just a few moments later with that nice mid-range jumper. Wheaton's going to need that high level of intensity, not only from Swider, but from their entire team to compete against the #1 ranked Christopher Newport tonight.
Yeah, Christopher Newport subbing in 4 new players here. They sub a lot. It's an unusual amount of substitutions for this team, but that's one of the things that makes them so good. They're always having new personnel come in, and they're so deep. As 22 missed both free throws there. Gives the ball back to the Thunder. That's Jevia Winkley.
Wheaton working against tough press right now from Christopher Newport, but Lily Schwen with a nice move off of the pass gets in for an uncontested layup. Great work by Schwen.
Yeah, nice play by Schwen and blocked by Swider on the other end. A great hustle play by Hannah Swider, able to get her hand on the ball. And the Captains tried to hit it out on Swider, but looks like the Thunder will get another possession here. It's loud in King Arena tonight, and the energy is great from this Thunder team.
Yeah, folks, if you can't tell from our microphones, it is quite loud in here despite a lower amount of spectators than expected, as Caroline Sicking takes the lead for the Thunder with a nice move underneath the basket, giving Wheaton their first lead of the game. Wheaton up by 1 on the #1 ranked team in the country.
You see the bench on their feet. They're clapping for their teammates. Earlier before the game, they said, why not us? Why can't we go out there and play with
Sandra
energy?
Fan unloads for a three-point attempt. That's short. And this Wheaton team is very excited. You can see the bench contributing a lot of energy. And like you said, Amelia, the attitude coming into this game, why not us?
Hannah Swider will inbound the ball here as they'll try to break the famous captain's chaos press. And they will here as they get the ball over the court. But turn it over here with their 5th turnover of the game.
Yeah, Hermanson working against the tough press there, ends up turning it over. Deep three-point attempt from Gabby San Diego is no good. Great defense from the Thunder there, forcing her to take a deep three-pointer instead of letting her get a little bit closer to the line. The Thunder breaks the press once again. Sickink wide open for a three-point attempt is no good, but rebounded by Lily Schwen, who gets it to Kaylee Hermanson. Back out to Sickink. She'll take it again. And this time it's good. 3 points for Caroline Sickink. Misses the first one and makes the second from the same spot.
That'll put the Thunder up 4. A great play by the sophomore transfer as Hannah Swider is able to steal the ball now. She's advancing up the court. Will pass to Sanders. And looks like we have a double dribble there. But again, just great energy from this Thunder team in this first quarter as they're now up by 4. Playing with a lot of grit, a lot of excitement tonight here in King Arena. And it's awesome to see them play against such a tough team. There's so much spirit.
Yeah, you can just see Wheaton is as well prepared as they can be facing up against such a juggernaut of a team. Christopher Newport is undefeated this season, winning all 17 of their games, many of which they have won by a large margin. And Wheaton keeping it competitive early in this one, being able to break that infamous press like you talked about, Amelia. We've seen a lot of contributions so far from Caroline Sickink, which is no surprise given her reputation as a very gritty player.
That was Anaya Simmons on the other line with the points in the paint. She's the captain's 2nd leading scorer. And the captains will steal the ball here and finish on the other end.
That's Felicia McInnes on the steal and the finish on the other end.
That ties the game here with just about 4 minutes to go here in the first.
Caroline Sickink unloads for a three-pointer. That's good! Caroline Sickink with the hot hand early in this game. Excuse me, that was a long 2. Puts Wheaton up 2 points, 13-11.
Right on the line. We've seen Sickink get hot these last couple of games. Against North Central last week, she scored 21 points and was hot from the three-point line. So she's turning it on again tonight as number 55, Natalie Terwilliger, answers on the other end in the paint. And Sickink will travel here as subs come in for both teams.
Sickink just lost her footing a little bit there, trying to get rid of the ball before she got called for the travel. Could not do it. That'll give Christopher Newport the ball with just under 3.5 minutes left in this first quarter tie game. Terwilliger with the ball. She passes it off. It's now in the hands of Anaya Simmons, who's driving it on Sanders.
And it looks like we have an injury here. So the trainers will come to the court and check on Taylor Sanders, the senior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Exciting game so far here in King Arena. Both teams tied. Again, number 1 Christopher Newport University going undefeated thus far this season, winning all 17 of their games. Coming into King Arena here in Wheaton, Illinois, all the way from Virginia. Wheaton's put up a really good fight so far this game, being able to match the intensity so far of the captains, especially against that infamous captain's chaos press that you've talked about, Amelia. Amelia, what is something that you have seen so far in this game that has surprised you?
Yeah, I think for one thing, if you had come in King Arena this week and saw the Thunder practicing in the afternoons, you would have seen them practicing to get around that press. Coach Madsen really emphasized that we need to stay calm, cool, and collected against this captain's chaos that Christopher Newport will will put on the Thunder. And so I've been very impressed so far by how the Thunder have stayed calm, cool, and collected against that press. They're making smart passes, and on the other end, they're just playing with a lot more offensive energy than we've seen in recent games, and that's just so exciting and refreshing to see here in King Arena. We've seen them be a little stiff their last couple of games, so great to see them playing with energy as Taylor Sanders is now being helped off the court. She's up, a senior who's given a lot of great minutes this year for her team. But as we said, Christopher Newport is undefeated so far this season, and they also have the longest winning streak in the NCAA currently with 34 consecutive wins. That does not count last season's games where they did lose 2 games during the COVID year, but it does count their games from the 2019 year where they were in the Sweet 16 and unfortunately had to cancel March Madness due to the pandemic. And so they know what it takes to win. They've got a 34-game winning streak, and they're here to defend that winning streak tonight. And the Thunder are playing like they're here to defend their home court, and they're doing just that as the score remains tied here, 13-13 with 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the first.
Anaya Simmons shooting free throws for the Captains right now after the foul that occurred just a little bit earlier. She missed the first but makes the second, giving the Captains just a 1-point lead. Something that we've loved to see tonight from the Thunder. It's obvious that they've been preparing specifically for working offensively against this vaunted defense of the Captains. They've been able to work pretty effectively around it on the offensive end, as we see right here. Annika Richardson doing just that, working off a nice series of passes, a nice spin move down low for her to get the finish and put Wheaton back up 1.
Yeah, a great move by the freshman who's had several impressive games so far this season. Great to see her with the footwork down low to get her team yet another lead here in this first quarter, as Kaylee Hermanson will steal the ball here and get the Thunder another possession to extend their lead. But Lily Schwinn with the offensive foul runs right into a Captain and gets them another possession as they make several more substitutions. That's another thing to watch tonight, folks, just how many times this Christopher Newport team subs in and out their players. They are deep, and they like to have fresh legs on the court, and they're doing just that so far in the first.
Yeah, with the type of defense that they're running, the full court press, and just this swarming movement that really makes up their defensive identity that we've talked about. You need to continually have players on the court who are ready to go out and put in all that they have. Impressive conditioning from them so far, but the Thunder again working well against even such a tough defense. Some of that due to the offensive woes that we've seen of the Captains. Right there we saw Natalie Terwilliger miss another shot. She's struggled a bit tonight, but unfortunately Wheaton did foul on that last possession, so Christopher Newport will shoot free throws.
Yeah, Kaylee Hermanson with the foul there, just got a little too physical down low. I believe that's her first. Wheaton's 5th foul of the quarter. Christopher Newport currently still with no fouls so far this quarter.
And that's Hannah Kaloy on the free throws here for the Captain. She misses her first.
Kaloy, a 6'1" freshman forward out of Herndon, Virginia.
Kaloy makes the second, tying the game back up. The Captains have struggled a little bit from the free throw line tonight. That's going to be something Wheaton's going to hope to continue to see as this game continues. As Kaylee Hermanson works through the Newport defense, spinning all over, finding her way out of it. She drives in, finds a wide open Anna Mooney in the corner. Mooney's three-pointer attempt is short. Of offensive rebound by Castle, who gets it to Swider. And that shot is no good. Castle fought for the rebound there. Unfortunately, not come down with it. Christopher Newport with a nice inbound pass down low. Tries to get it to go. It doesn't work, but the ball ends up with another possession for the Captains, and that'll be an and 1 for number 30.
Katie Rader will head to the line to finish the three-point play. I will say so far what we've seen a lot that's giving both of these teams second chances is both teams are rebounding really well. The Captains average 40 rebounds a game, the Thunder 43. So these are two teams that are great on the boards, and that's really kept this game going for both of them tonight, as she'll miss that and 1 point, and the Thunder will try to get it over. Kaylee Hermanson on the floor now for a jump ball.
Good hustle there from Hermanson, being able to stop what could have ended up being a fast break opportunity for the Captains, jumping on top of that ball, fighting for it, forcing the jump ball. Rader will inbound. Christopher Newport looking to make something happen. Jessica Foster guarded by Anna Mooney. The ball is now with Julia Hobbs, and it gets broken up by Hannah Swider. Kaylee Hermanson now working against the press. Finds it, gets it to Anna Mooney, who's working. Hannah Swider now finds Kaylee Hermanson in the corner, and Hermanson pulls up for the three, just shy of hitting the bottom of the basket.
Two Thunder players there to rebound it, though, to give the Thunder another offensive possession here with 40 seconds left. It's Annika Richardson short on the three-pointer.
And that'll be rebounded by Jessica Foster. Now back with Rader, whose inbound pass down low finds its recipient, and that's number 23, Hannah Kaloy, who ends up with the basket. 2 more points. So we have just under 15 seconds left, and we have a collision right around midcourt.
That's just about the third time that's happened at about half court here. Both teams playing really aggressive tonight. We've seen them on the floor several times so far just in the first quarter.
And that call got a little bit of engagement from the crowd. A lot of Wheaton Thunder student athletes from the men's basketball team representing right now, supporting. Annika Richardson will inbound. She gets it to Hannah Swider. Swider working against the tough press. Nice pass between 2 defenders to Ellie Castle, but she can't make good on it. Castle tries to get another offensive possession, but it's picked off. But that's Hannah Swider forcing one. Gabby San Diego puts up a heave from just inside midcourt to end the first. And the first quarter finds Wheaton with 15. The Captains, #1 team in the country, with 19. Wheaton down only 4 to the 17-0 Christopher Newport University. Amelia, what are some things that you've seen in this first quarter from the Thunder that you would like to see going in to the rest of this game?
Yeah, I think what's really been contributing to making this such a good game so far is that Wheaton is stealing the ball. They average 7 steals a game, and they already have 6 just in this first quarter, which is very impressive. They're out there, they're aggressive, particularly the hands of Hannah Swider, able to steal it away from the Captains. And so they're in the head of these Captains right now. They average 17 steals a game, and they're tied right now with the Thunder, both just with 6 steals so far. And so I think that that's really contributed. I also think being on the boards has really helped this Thunder team stay in the game, and it's also helped the Captains on the other end get their second chance points. So I think this will be an exciting second quarter to end off the first half, and I'm excited to see what both of these teams bring out and see if both teams keep this energy up. They're playing great. Wheaton's tired after a tough Wednesday night game, and I can expect that Christopher Newport's a little bit tired from the travels, getting all the way up to the Chicagoland area from Newport News. So we'll see who can play a tough 40 minutes tonight, and that'll be the team that gets the win tonight here in King Arena.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Amelia. One thing that I've really liked to see from the Thunder tonight is their willingness to not give up on any defensive effort. Christopher Newport has not gotten an easy shot this entire night. Even the three-point attempts that Christopher Newport have been largely defended well or pushed out so far back from the three-point line that it's just a pretty poor, low percentage shot, and we're going to need to see that more from the Thunder as this game continues, should they want to keep it close. As Annika Richardson unloads for a three-point attempt, which is no good, but offensive rebound by Caroline Sickink. Back to Richardson, who goes in and makes good on the nice running shot attempt.
A great floater by Annika Richardson, the freshman that plays with such poise here on the court. She's had some clutch plays so far in this game, as the Thunder are now just down 2 at the beginning of the second.
Christopher Newport resetting their offense a little bit here. And they find a wide open shooter in the corner, but her shot attempt is no good, but Christopher Newport gets that offensive rebound. Some of that great rebounding that you were talking about earlier, Amelia, we just saw there. This is Ayana Simmons now driving in on Hannah Swider. Good defense from Swider, but Simmons still manages to get it to fall against the tough defense.
Yeah, an athletic play by Simmons there to kind of levitate in the air and get the ball off the backboard and in. As we'll see here if the Thunder can answer on the other end. Ellie Castle fouled down low. The junior forward out of Coopersburg, Pennsylvania. Knows how to play tough down low, had 15 points on Wednesday night against Carthage. A lot of those points coming from the paint. She'll head to the line now to shoot 2.
Yeah, you love to see Ellie Castle getting in on some of the offensive action there. She's such a talented scorer from all points on the court. We've talked many times this season about her bread and butter, that 15-foot jumper, but she's really, really skilled at scoring down low, and if she doesn't manage to score, she's very likely to get fouled and be able to put in free throws as she puts in both of hers, giving Wheaton another 2 points, putting them down just 2 to the captains.
And Caroline Sickink will foul here on the other end.
Yeah, Sickink just got beat off of the dribble there, ends up fouling Felicia McInnes. This is Simmons driving again against Swider. This time the Thunder defense from Swider prevails as she pushes the pace up the court. Sickink now with the ball, trying to find an open shooter, and she does. She finds Ellie Castle, whose mid-range jumper is just shy. This will be McInnes again with the ball. She thought about shooting the three-pointer, but gets it way back out to midcourt for Gabby San Diego.
Some defensive mismatches here on the court right now as Castle is guarding McInnes.
Simmons working against Hannah Swider. Nice post moves down low from Simmons to get the bucket, and Christopher Newport almost comes away with another turnover there, but thankfully is hauled back in by the Thunder. This will be a wide open three-point attempt from the corner for Swider, and it just rims out. But a great offensive possession there. There were a few times where Wheaton almost lost the ball, but they managed to keep it all under control. That'll be Sandra Fan with the three-point attempt for the captains early in the shot clock, which is no good. Sickink now with the ball. This will be Lily Schwen working in. Hannah Swider, three-point attempt. Oh, rims out once again. And Ayana Simmons pushing up the court now to Sandra Fan. Richardson tried to throw her off a little bit, but Fan makes good on that. Christopher Newport now with their biggest lead of the night, up 25-19 on the Thunder.
And the Thunder will lose the ball here, starting to play just a little bit messy. Christopher Newport's going to slow it down here.
Yeah, you can see it on the faces of the captain players here. We've a lot of fatigue going on, despite having played a very long rotation already in this game. You can see some of that fatigue from playing such an aggressive press, kind of taking its toll on the captains, as we'll have a timeout.
Simmons with a nice block down low. Several players again flooding in for the captains to sub, as Bryn Durrell will sub in for the Thunder, the freshman out of Colorado. She's getting Ellie Castle out of the game here.
Excuse me, we're not having a timeout. There was just a mass substitution, like you said, Amelia. Wheaton will try to score here on this possession. Long inbound pass from Lily Schwen to Kaylee Hermanson. Now to Annika Richardson. Now to Caroline Sickink, who's working. Gets to wide open Bryn Durrell. The freshman's three-point attempt goes in and out.
She'll get on the floor here for the jump ball.
Great intensity there, Amelia, from the Thunder, forcing another jump ball.
And another gritty play from Bryn Durrell. We've seen her do that a lot this season. Shoots and follows her own shot and then gets on the floor for it. Two freshmen on the court right now for the Thunder, both playing with a lot of poise tonight against the #1 team in the country. Bryn Durrell will foul here, though. That's Wheaton's second of the quarter, her first.
Coach Madsen getting a little frustrated there with that foul.
Yeah, the Thunder team really can't get in foul trouble tonight. We're short on a lot of players with injuries, so he wants to make sure that he has his solid 9 players able to play this game with little foul trouble, as Kaylee Hermanson will force a missed shot, grab the board, and get it over to the other end. Great energy by her as she passes to Caroline Sicking, who's just short from the 3-point line. Back to Christopher Newport.
Christopher Newport has made Wheaton work on both every offensive and defensive possession, but Wheaton really showing some impressive chops competing with this team. And we saw that right there. What an impressive play from Bryn Durrell, the freshman, blocking the attempt from number 22, Jovia Winky.
Caroline Sicking again, getting on the floor, doing what she does best. Gritty player, and that'll be a jump ball and get it back to the Thunder on the other end. As the fans are on their feet here, they liked that play by Sicking.
Yep, Sicking, as we've talked about many times this season, just a really gritty player, willing to do whatever it takes to give her team a chance to have the ball once again. Great intensity in just the past few moments. That great defensive awareness and play from Bryn Durrell. And then Caroline Sicking forcing the jump ball, giving the Thunder now the ball on the offensive end. Players swarming all over the court. Annika Richardson's 3-point attempt is just a little off as Caroline Sicking gets called for the foul here.
That's a tough one with Sicking. We've seen that far too often this season. She's great at getting jump balls and getting possessions back for her team, but sometimes she just gets a little bit too aggressive and fouls on the other end, which, again, as we said, the Thunder can't get in foul trouble tonight. So little plays like that we just don't need for the Thunder, as they are now down by 6 with just under 5 minutes to go here in the first half.
Yeah, and Amelia, in these last few minutes, not a lot going for both teams. Wheaton scoreless in about the past 4 minutes. The captains scoreless in about the past 2. Now with just under 5 minutes left in this second quarter before we enter halftime, which I'm sure both teams will appreciate an extended rest. What is something the Thunder can do in these last 5 minutes to try and claw back a little bit? Yeah,
I think they need to stop turning the ball over. Both teams are pretty much even statistically right now with steals, boards, percentages, but when it comes to turnovers, the Thunder are doubling the captains right now with 12 turnovers. So especially on this press here, they need to just stay calm for the last 5 minutes and do just that. Get the ball over and advance it and try to score, but maybe use the shot clock a little bit more instead of trying to force points here. Maybe try to get Christopher Newport a little bit more tired, use the shot clock to their advantage instead of trying to force plays. As Christopher Newport extends their lead 30-19 with that 3-pointer from number 22, Jovia Winky.
Yeah, nice work there from Winky, hitting on the 3-pointer from deep. Christopher Newport hasn't necessarily shot very well from deep tonight. They've had a few opportunities, but quite a few have not found their mark. But that one there from Winky is true as it hits the bottom of the basket. And we'll have another 3-point attempt from Katie Rader. She makes good on that one, and that's 6 quick points from Christopher Newport as the Wheaton possession is almost ended early. This is Sicking with a early shot clock jumper from mid-range. It's rebounded by Annika Richardson and put back up with the foul.
Let's see that again. Richardson with the athletic play, getting the rebound and then able to finish with a captain right on her back. They're fouling her as she will try to finish the 3-point play here on the line.
Yeah, great work from Richardson there. Salvaging an offensive possession. Getting down in the paint, doing the tough work. Wheaton will make some substitutions. The captains will as well. Ellie Castle now in for the Thunder. It'll be good to have her back in the game.
Again, Annika Richardson on the line, a 75% free throw shooter. She's shooting to finish a three-point play. And she will miss that point, and it'll go back to the captains.
Yeah, free throw bounces just in and out. A lot of shots tonight for the Thunder have been that way, in and out. Had a lot of good looks that just haven't fallen, and it's frustrating to have those moments on the offensive end where the look is right and the shot looks true but just does not find its mark. Wheaton's going to hope that some of their momentum swings this way as Natalie Terwilliger hits on a three-point attempt. She has struggled a bit from deep tonight but makes good on that shot.
She's so versatile, inside and out. She can finish, and there she goes with the block. The captain's 9th in the nation right now for blocked shots per game. She had 6 last game against University of Mary Washington, so on both ends of the court, she's finishing tonight and playing hard for her team.
Kaylee Hermanson had a nice attempt, but was caught up in the defense as Wheaton's pass is picked off by the captains. This will be Kayla Rader going in. Impressive layup through traffic against Kaylee Hermanson from Rader, and she gets that shot to fall.
A lot of contact there from Hermanson. Almost surprised that wasn't a foul. And the Thunder will turn it over here again.
The momentum swinging in the direction of the captains as that'll be another foul called on Wheaton. Wheaton getting in a bit of foul trouble so far tonight. They've had a lot of times where Christopher Newport's been able to go to the line to get some easier points. Wheaton now down 17 to the #1 team in the country, looking to regain some momentum with just over 2.5 minutes left in this second quarter.
Jovia Winky will make her first. 5'3" junior guard out of Orange County, Virginia. As the Wheaton crowd will try to distract her here for the second, but she will finish both here to put her team up 40-21 against the Thunder here with just under 3 minutes in the first half.
The Thunder working against that press as Sandra Fan knocks the pass intended for Bryn Durrell out of bounds. Wheaton will retain possession. Good defensive awareness there by Fan. Lee Schwen looks for an inbounder, finds Ellie Castle, who works against Terwilliger, and Ellie Castle is fouled on the way up for her shot. Good to see her getting action at the free throw line once again.
Yeah, great job by Ellie Castle tonight, twice so far. Playing tough in the paint, drawing fouls. Finished her last free throws. We'll see if she'll do it again here, and she does with her first. Ellie Castle, no stranger to Wheaton College. Her brother played baseball here for Wheaton, graduated in 2020. Castle's great uncle was on the national championship basketball team in 1957, so she's got some Wheaton history and a history of excellence as well with Wheaton athletics, and she'll finish both of her free throws here. And the Thunder will steal the ball again. Back in the hands of Hannah Swider. She'll try to get it across. A little panicked there, but Bryn Durrell there to catch the pass on the other end and getting trapped as well.
Ellie Castle ends up with a shot attempt. Her shot does not fall, but it's fought for by the Thunder and a jump ball is forced.
The crowd wanted a foul there against Annika Richardson, but refs called a jump ball. Again, a good job by Wheaton to grab these rebounds. Trying to get another possession, but unfortunately it was a jump ball, so it'll go back in the hands of the captains here. Under 2 minutes to go.
Great defense there from the Thunder, capitalizing on another mistake from the captains, but the captains end up back with the ball after some frantic moves from both teams to try and secure possession. This will be Anna Simmons driving against Hannah Swider once again. And that'll be a travel called against the captains. Good break there for Wheaton.
Head coach Bill Broderick really wanted a foul on that one. Very animated on the other end. Instead, the refs called a travel, which gave it back to the Thunder here with a minute to go in the first half.
That first inbound pass from Swider was tipped back out of bounds by McInnes of the captains. That'll be back with Swider. It's tipped away by Simmons, who just jumped in front of that pass. You can hear the student section heckling just a little bit. As Sandra Fan now with the ball. Back to Simmons, who's had an active night for her team. Ellie Castle getting her hand in front of the pass intended for Terwilliger.
Yeah, good job by Ellie Castle there, fronting down low, able to get that steal. Bryn Durrell almost walking there, but able to keep the ball, give it to Hannah Swider, who will get the ball knocked out of bounds, but get another possession here for the Thunder.
Yeah, Bryn Durrell almost lost the ball there, but ended up looking like a pretty sweet fake pass.
Yeah.
Ended up with Swider being able to get wide open.
And we've got a foul here on number 15, Sandra Fan. She fouled Ellie Castle as the ball was getting inbounded to her. So the Thunder will get another chance here down low.
You could see Castle was happy to see there's a foul called.
Oh, a nice drive by Ellie Castle across the lane, and she'll get fouled again. Again, just such an impressive night so far by Ellie Castle, playing tough. Not able to finish quite yet, but drawing fouls and finishing from the free throw line, which is exactly what her team needs. They need that consistency from the junior forward tonight, and she's doing just that so far.
Yeah, the majority of Wheaton's offense, they haven't necessarily made a lot of their first shot attempts when they have that offensive possession, but a lot of really impressive offensive rebounding and willingness to get gritty down in the paint have provided a lot of opportunities so far for free throws, most of which are coming right now from Ellie Castle, who is showing the captains that if they foul her, she is very likely going to make both of those attempts.
Yeah, Castle still 100% from the free throw line tonight, 5 for 5, as the captains are going to hold it here for the last possession of the first half. Just about 13 seconds to go here in King Arena.
The shot clock and the game clock lined up right now. Captains look for one more chance at a shot. It'll be Terwilliger with a deep three-pointer, which is off to the left. And that'll end the second quarter. Wheaton Thunder down 15 to the #1 team in the country, Christopher Newport University. The captains and the Thunder both playing an impressive game. The Thunder, despite being down 15 points, playing with grit and matching that intensity. Just a few moments where some of their mistakes have ended up in Christopher Newport being able to capitalize on them. Before we go into halftime, Amelia, what is one thing that the Thunder could do in the second half to bring themselves back into this game?
Yeah, I think, as I've said previously, they just really need to try to stay collected against this captain's chaos press. They already have 17 turnovers here in the first half, which is their average for turnovers per game. And so they need to turn that around in the second half, just stay calm, cool, and collected. And they've proven in the first half that they can beat this press, and they're beating it well. And then they're coming on the offensive end and playing with energy and finishing. So as long as they stay confident and continue to do just that, I think we'll see a good second half for the Thunder against this impressive Christopher Newport team out of Newport News. We'll be right back with you folks. Again, Christopher Newport leads 40-25 in the first half. Thanks for joining us this afternoon on WTSN. We'll be right back with you.
Hello, my name's Priscilla, and I'm an Applied Health Science major from Portland, Oregon. Thanks for joining our tour today.
And I'm Blake. I'm a History and Communication major from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to Wheaton. Let's get started. Established in 1860, Wheaton College is guided by its original mission for Christ and His kingdom. A mission to educate the whole person and prepare you to make the difference God is calling you to make. Our 2,400 undergraduate students come from all 50 states and over 70 countries to make Wheaton College their home for the next 4 years.
We're located in Wheaton, Illinois. Campus is only a short walk from a downtown area filled with coffee shops, parks, and restaurants. We're also next to a train stop that will take you directly into downtown Chicago. There, our students can access the arts, culture, internships, and job opportunities that the nation's third largest city provides. Also, your Wheaton Student ID gets you free access to the Art Institute of Chicago, one of the largest art museums in the United States.
Our first stop is Blanchard Hall, the oldest and most iconic building on campus. Blanchard was built in 4 separate sections, beginning in 1853 and completed in 1927. It currently houses several academic departments and administrative offices. Since our founding, Wheaton has only had 8 presidents, starting with Jonathan Blanchard, a known abolitionist and believer in quality education for all. Our current president, Dr. Philip Wheaton, began his term in 2010, and the students are big fans of his. He regularly captains intramural teams, invites students over to his house for game nights, and if you ever need to find him, check the basketball courts around 6 a.m. He'll probably be playing his regularly scheduled pickup game in the Krauser Sports Complex.
Also featured in Blanchard Hall is our Missions Wall, a celebration of alumni who have gone on to serve in cross-cultural missions. Hundreds of names and decades of service around the world. Wheaton's commitment to academic excellence, the liberal arts, and education of the whole person will prepare you for whatever and wherever God is calling you, from the mission field to the boardroom.
We have over 50 majors, certificate programs, and accelerated master's programs. Our student-to-faculty ratio is about 10 to 1, and our average class size is about 23 students, which means you'll definitely get to know your professors. What's even better is that they will actually be intentional about getting to know you outside of the classroom, whether it be through office hours, meals in the dining hall, or even inviting students over to their homes for dinner. Few things make me happier than a home-cooked meal.
Wheaton values experiential learning for all students. We offer extensive study abroad opportunities through our Office of Global Programs and Studies. There are over 70 semester and summer programs. This next year, I'll be studying abroad through our Human Needs and Global Resources program, what we call Hunger. Hunger is an academic certificate program unique to Wheaton. It can be added to any major and includes on-campus coursework as well as a 6-month internship abroad, where you integrate your area of study with cross-cultural research and service.
Our next stop is Edmond Chapel. 3 times a week, students gather here for prayer and worship. Now I gotta be honest, having chapel 3 times a week seemed a little intimidating, but our chaplain's office does an incredible job at making chapel an engaging and enriching experience. We have diverse speakers from all over the world come to teach, as well as members from our own faculty, staff, and even student body. Chapel bands and student ensembles from our conservatory lead us in worship as well. Chapel is central to our mission because it refocuses our hearts and minds on God and on what Jesus is doing both in our lives and throughout the world. This large space also hosts concerts by Wheaton ensembles, guest artists, the annual talent show, and other student events run by our college union.
Armitage Center for Music and the Arts houses our Conservatory of Music. The conservatory provides professional training in music performance, music education, composition, and more with world-class faculty. Armitage was completely renovated in 2017 for our conservatory, with a recital hall, 2 recording studios, a digital keyboard lab, faculty studios, practice rooms, and more, all specifically designed with musical acoustics in mind. A new 650-seat concert hall and a large choral rehearsal room opened in August 2020, completing the 2nd stage of renovation. Dr. Michael Wilder, our Dean of the Conservatory, Arts, and Communication, frequently reminds us of the biblical importance of music and worship. Even if you're not a music major, you can participate in one of our many ensembles or take private lessons, and you can add a certificate in worship arts to any major. Coming to college to study the sciences, I didn't know if I'd be able to stay involved in music, but quickly found musical outlets in gospel choir and our co-ed a cappella group, Amplify A Cappella. Even with ensembles I'm not involved in, there are plenty of opportunities to enjoy campus concerts and performances each semester.
Krauser Sports Complex is home to 21 NCAA Division III intercollegiate teams, who combined have won over 40 conference championships in the last 10 years. We also have 7 club sports teams and many student-led intramurals, including sand volleyball, inner tube water polo, and more. 80% of the student body is involved in the activities offered through the Krauser Sports Complex. So Krauser plays a big part in student life at Wheaton. It has practice gyms, a rock climbing wall, a fully equipped weight room, and a dance studio featuring group fitness classes. Also housed in Krauser is a 25-meter pool and King Arena, used by our varsity volleyball, wrestling, and basketball teams. Our varsity men's basketball team made a Division III Final Four appearance in 2019. Across campus, you will see McCulley Stadium, home to the Wheaton Thunder football team, who advanced to the Division III quarterfinals in 2019. And next to that is Joe Bean Stadium, home to our men's and women's soccer teams. Let's go Thunder! Wheaton is a residential campus, and 90% of our students live on campus all 4 years, whether in residence halls, apartments, or houses. If you're an incoming freshman, you'll be living in one of our 2 underclassmen residence halls, Fisher Hall or Smith-Traber Hall.
With 75% of our students coming from outside of Illinois, we aren't a school where students go home on the weekends. Instead, students invest in making Wheaton their home, and residence life is a prime example of how living in community is central to our lives as Christians and central to daily life at Wheaton. Dedicated residence life staff supports students mentally, physically, and spiritually. Student residence assistants on each floor plan events and community building opportunities, like the annual Oktoberfest, a contest specific to Smith-Traber Hall, where floors prepare and offer immersive, themed tours.
But if you ask me, I had way more fun at the Fisher Dodgeball Tournament.
However, I think we can all agree that Smith-Traber is clearly the superior residence hall.
That's hilarious. Even the visitors watching know that Fisher is obviously better.
Our next stop is Meyer Science Center. Rising from the rocks to the stars, with geology and environmental science on the lower level, and moving up to our observatory at the top, this structure is built on a grounded passion for learning through and from God's creation. Wheaton's commitment to the integration of faith and learning continues strongly through our study of the sciences. At Wheaton, we believe that all truth is God's truth, so the study of God's created order is both an academic and a spiritual pursuit. Almost all professors have their own labs where undergrad students conduct research alongside them. We offer rigorous preparation for pre-health tracks through our dedicated health professions office. As an applied health science major on the pre-nursing track, my hands-on learning experiences here have profoundly shaped my passion for the sciences. Getting to learn in the cadaver lab only deepened the way that I understand and engage my faith in relation to our physical embodiment. Meyer is also home to Perry the Mastodon, one of the most complete mastodon skeletons in North America. Found in nearby Glen Ellen in 1963, Perry was excavated by Wheaton geology students and now has inspired our Thunder mascot, Tor.
Beamer Student Center was named after Todd M. Beamer, a 1991 Wheaton alum who lost his life on Flight 93 during the 9/11 attacks. His famous words, "Let's roll," have become a motto to us here at Wheaton. Lower level Beamer, or low beams as we like to call it, is where you'll find study spaces, Sam's Coffee Shop, the Stoop Grill where you can grab some burgers and fries, a game room, the college post office, and the chaplain's office. Beamer also houses many of our student engagement offices, such as the Student Activities, the Office of Christian Outreach, the Office of Multicultural Development, and International Student Programs. Not to mention more than 75 student-initiated clubs and student-led groups. Low Beams is a pretty busy place. Each office has its own staff committed to student growth and resources for learning outside the classroom and having fun outside the classroom. But one of my all-time favorite spots in Low Beams is Gold Star Chapel, a small prayer chapel that's perfect for quiet devotional times. It's named Gold Star for the 39 Wheaton College students who gave their lives during World War II.
Beamer Student Center also houses Anderson Commons, our main dining hall served by Bon Appetit. We've been consistently ranked among the top in the nation for our food, and Bon Appetit is committed to preparing locally sourced meals in their scratch kitchen. The dining hall is a great place to meet friends old and new, enjoy a meal with one of your professors, and delve even deeper into the campus community.
Right across from Beamer is our bookstore and the Center for Vocation and Career, or the CVC. The CVC prepares you to take your Wheaton education out into the world. With dedicated career coaches assigned to specific majors, they will provide plenty of opportunities for growth throughout your 4 years here. Offering more than just the traditional resume and interview help, the CVC helps you figure out who you are, what strengths you bring, and where God is calling you through a curriculum of self-reflection, career exploration, and a commitment to internships. They also help networking and introducing students to employers. Wheaton has an extensive and international network of alumni who love to connect with and offer opportunities to current students.
At Wheaton, you don't have to settle. Wheaton gives you an opportunity to become the person God is calling you to be and prepares you to make the difference God is calling you to make for Christ and His kingdom.
Thank you for joining our tour today. Know that the admissions office and many more on this campus are praying for you, praying that the Lord would direct your next steps and guide your college decision. We would love to connect with you further. Contact the admissions office to meet your admissions counselor, get your questions answered, and to set up your next visit. We look forward to meeting you. See you soon.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to King Arena for this afternoon's matchup between the Wheaton Thunder and the visiting #1 team in NCAA Division III women's basketball, Christopher Newport University out of Virginia. The captains hold a 15-point lead out of halftime. Amelia got to stick her head inside the Thunder locker room during halftime. Amelia, what did you take away from that time?
Yeah, I was a fly on the wall in the Thunder locker room this afternoon, and one of the main things that Coach Madsen told his team was, okay, now we need to start using our basketball IQ. We can't just break the press, get it on to the other end, and then start jacking up threes. We need to slow it down. We need to have our own tempo, slow it down offensively, and start scoring inside, and recognize that most of our points are coming from inside and use that to our advantage. Assistant coach Katie Cuthbert told her team, hey, 15 points is not that big of a difference. You guys had a 9-point scoring run in the first half, and so 15 isn't too far away. So just get stops defensively, start scoring offensively, slow it down, use your basketball IQ, and we can turn this thing around. A lot of great energy in the locker room from the Thunder, and I think they're excited to start this second half off and see what they can do against this impressive Christopher Newport team this afternoon.
Yeah, and for those of you who are not able to join us until more recently, despite this, what could appear to be a foreboding 17-point lead from the captains, the Thunder during the first quarter were able to go dribble for dribble and shot for shot against this #1 team in the country. They matched the score for about the first 8 minutes of the game. Christopher Newport was able to capitalize on some mistakes on the Thunder end, and some of Wheaton's shots that have looked good have just been unable to fall, and that's something that's a lot harder to control. But as we go into this second half, it's still anyone's game. There's still a lot of time left to play, and Amelia, I think you're right on. Using that presence in the paint, like you just talked about, Coach Madsen emphasizing to his players as Caroline Sickink, the leading scorer for her Thunder team tonight, now with 11, capitalizes on that presence down low.
A nice play there by the Thunder down low. That's what we saw in that first quarter. They were fearless. They were relentless. They were getting their points in the paint. Second quarter, they were playing a little bit tired. So right now here in this second half, we want them to play how they played in the first quarter. They need to compete through the fatigue that they're feeling, compete through that tiredness, and get those points in the paint like we just saw from Caroline Sickink down low.
Yeah, and Wheaton already doing a good job on the defensive front by forcing the outside shot from the captains. They have not shot well from deep tonight. That last possession, they forced Gabby Sandiego into the corner for her to take a deep three-pointer, which came off the front of the rim. And anytime you can force an opponent into a bad shot like that, you're certainly going to be happy, as Wheaton will look to do that again. Gabby Sandiego once again off the front of the rim.
Hannah Swider able to get it over to Caroline Sickink. Right to the hands of Ellie Castle for that bread and butter shot, that 15-footer. Beautiful shot by Ellie Castle there.
We're going to hope to see more of that from Castle. Her first half, she shot 100% from the free throw line, but wasn't able to hit on a jumper. And it's great to see the second half starting with a jumper from her. The Thunder certainly would love to see as much of that as they can. Sandra Fan with a three-point attempt is no good.
Very impressive defensive effort there by the Thunder to run that shot clock down, force a bad shot, grab the rebound, and get it on the other end. But what they need to do here on this other end, as I said before, is slow it down. Great to see Hannah Swider getting the ball across with that energy, but the Thunder need to do exactly what the captains are doing and use the shot clock to their advantage. Stop forcing shots and start making the captains set up in their defense. As they will miss another shot, but get the offensive board here. Ellie Castle able to hit it away. And Hannah Swider able to tip it out of bounds here, as the captains will make another large substitution. They had 17 points off the bench in the first half, whereas Wheaton had no points off of their bench in the first half. So the substitutions that Coach Broderick are making are very successful for his team.
Yeah, Wheaton will look to capitalize on this possession here after forcing a nice out of bounds by Hannah Swider.
Great job by the Thunder. Great defensive effort to get that shot clock violation for the captains. The bench on their feet, Coach Kent Madsen on his feet as well here in King Arena. So that's what they need in this second half if they want to step it up and get this lead down.
Yeah, the Thunder are already doing a great job on the defensive end so far, not overcommitting as we've seen the captains do at points this game, as Ellie Castle ends up on the ground fighting for the loose ball. That'll be a jump ball that'll go to the captains. But that defensive patience that we're seeing, again, trying to force either the shot clock to expire or to force the captains to take a bad shot. Great work from Wheaton on the defensive end. They just need to transfer that patience over to the offensive end, like you've said, Amelia. The captains will look to break their scoring drought. Over the last 3 minutes, they have not scored. And that'll be Ellie Castle, it looks like, called for the foul.
That's her second of the game. First Wheaton foul of the quarter, as Bryn Durrell will sub in for Castle. Both teams with not a lot of foul trouble in the first half. She'll keep their main players in the game here in the second, as captains are rallying here.
Lily Schwen was almost able to pick off that pass, but instead is able to close out on a three-point attempt from the captains and force a miss. Wheaton again with another great defensive stop. Lily Schwen's pass to Caroline Sickink does not find its mark, but Sickink is fouled at number 15, Sandra Fan.
Yeah, Sandra Fan just reaching over there with her right hand. That'll be her third foul of the game. The captain's second here of this quarter, so she will exit the game.
Wheaton down 13 now on the captains with some good defensive momentum. They're just now looking for it to happen on the offensive end, and that is certainly not something they like to see, as Sickink's attempt to pass inside to Richardson is pulled away by the captains.
Yeah, that's Sickink's third foul of the game, her second foul where she gets a little too frustrated on an offensive play gone wrong and ends up fouling her defender. Hannah Swider will sub in for Sickink now. Swider, the senior out of Wheaton, Illinois.
Yeah, the Thunder are certainly happy to have Swider back in the game. Her defensive acumen and intensity on all parts of the game are certainly going to be helpful right now. Christopher Newport trying to find pass down low, and Wheaton stifling two shot attempts off of rebounds from number 23, Hannah Kaloy. But unfortunately, Christopher Newport does find the bottom of the basket, ending their 3.5 minute scoreless drought, as Hannah Swider with a nice pass through traffic to Annika Richardson for an easy 2-point bucket down low. That's Julia Ing on the other end for the captains, and her layup attempt is no good as Swider bursts up the court with that speed.
Good job by Wheaton there with all those possessions, able to convert on both ends of the court, kind of get in the captains' faces and force those missed layups. Hannah Swider then bringing the ball over with energy and then able to draw the foul, as the captains now have 3 fouls here in this third quarter.
Yep, Swider fouled there by Javiah Winkie, who just came across and just bumped her. And now Wheaton will have a chance to inbound after some substitutions by the captains. Head coach of the captains a bit riled right now, giving his team a bit of a pep talk.
Audibly upset here in King Arena, known for being animated. Hannah Swider with a nice drive, but just blocked by number 21.
And that is number 21 again with the bucket.
Hannah Orloff, who I don't believe we saw in the first quarter, or the first half, excuse me, with 2 great plays in a row on both ends for her team.
Wheaton working its way out of some impressive defense from the captains here, including some good contributions from freshman Bryn Durrell. Kaylee Hermanson tries to go with the turnaround but gets called for a foul.
I believe that was a 3-second violation. Just stayed too long in the paint, couldn't quite decide what she wanted to do. Again, we need to see the Thunder be a little bit more decisive on the offensive end, and as Coach Madsen said at halftime, use their basketball IQ to know what shots are there and what shots are not there.
Wide open in the corner for the captains is Jessica Foster, who buries the 3-point attempt. And the Wheaton inbound pass is picked off by Simmons. They'll go back to the captains, who look to add more points, now holding an 18-point lead on the Thunder, their biggest of the night. And that'll be Foster once again from 3. She does not make that one fall. Once again, head coach of Christopher Newport
unhappy with the calls tonight, as there was an offensive foul there on the captains. He's arguing for his team, did not like that one at all.
Asking for an explanation from the referees. Wheaton will have this offensive possession here, and it's picked away right away. Hannah Swider stripped of the ball, ends up with a 3-point attempt from Felicia McInnes, and she buries that one.
I'd love to see Coach Madsen call a timeout here just to kind of stop this quick tempo that the captains have right now. as we've seen several steals in a row, and he will in fact call a timeout here as his team with yet another turnover on the offensive end. Smart play there by the coach, who's coached the Thunder for 12 years, has a high winning percentage, just like the Christopher Newport coach, Bill Broderick. So two great coaches with a lot of great experience in the gym tonight, going at it on both ends of the floor. What do you think we need to see here, Josh, at the end of this third quarter for Wheaton to get some more stops and maybe cut this lead down a little bit?
Yeah, I think it can be easy when you're playing against a team with such a high pace and this very aggressive defense to try and match that. I think Wheaton certainly shouldn't try and slow everything down because of how much they're down by, but certainly a little more patience on the offensive end could not hurt. I think we've both talked about that in some regard. Wheaton just sometimes being a little overambitious, taking the first shot that they get very early in the shot clock, and sometimes those are good looks, but sometimes they're not. Wheaton just, if they could be just a little bit more selective with their shot making, I think we can see them chip away at this captain's lead.
Captains with the ball here. That's Hannah Orloff again, seeing some good minutes so far in this second half, but she'll miss her layup just a little bit short, and it'll go back in the hands of the Thunder as Hannah Swider will inbound it.
Yep, and that was great presence and awareness by Swider to just get her body up in the way of Orloff without fouling, as now Wheaton advances the ball up the court through this difficult press. Anna Mooney with the ball now. Gets it to Annika Richardson, whose three-point attempt is good. Nothing but net from Annika Richardson. Good to see her get a basket here in this second half.
That's the exact Annika Richardson that we wanted to see tonight. We wanted to see her step up for her team, and that was a clutch shot there out of the timeout to get those 3 points for her team. Captains try to answer, but miss long. Ball will go out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Thunder.
Yeah, Jessica Foster had a three-point attempt from the corner. She's hit there already in this half, but did not make good on that attempt. Good closeout from Anna Mooney, forced her shot to be a little bit off. And the Thunder were able to capitalize on the rebounding opportunity to get the ball. They will now hope to score once again after Richardson's three-pointer. Richardson's pass attempt is knocked away by Katie Rader, of the Captains, but it still ends up with the Thunder once again as they will look to advance the ball. Nice cross-court pass from Brenda Rild all the way to Anna Mooney, who finds Hannah Swider wide open for the three-point attempt, and Hannah Swider hits from downtown. Good to see her getting going from the three-point line as well. Wheaton now making their last two three-point attempts after going 1 for 11 before then in this game from the three-point line, chipping away at that captain's lead as Jessica Foster unloads a three-point attempt, and her three-point attempt is no good, and it will be out on number 21.
Hannah Orloff, I believe. Brenda Rill tried to grab that board, but got lucky there as a captain player, was able to knock it out of bounds, get the ball back to the Thunder. They've got 3 seconds here to get it over, and they do just in time, but the Captains steal it right back as soon as it gets over the court.
Yeah, Gabby San Diego of the Captains capitalizing on that rush from Wheaton to get over the midcourt line to prevent that violation.
And they are out of bounds here. Give the Thunder another try to break this press. The Thunder a lot more successful with breaking the press in the first quarter than they have been since then. Just playing with a little bit more timidness than we saw in the first half. Of course, a little bit more fatigued than they were in the first half as well. Just starting to show.
The Captains playing uncharacteristically sloppy on the offensive end. And speaking of sloppy, Wheaton throws away the ball there, trying to get it to Bryn Durrell. Coach Brian Broderick in his 10th season for the Captains has been quite vocal this whole game. He's visibly frustrated with the sloppiness and poor execution of his team right now despite their lead. He knows that a team with a 17-0 record can certainly be playing a little bit more disciplined than they have been, as Natalie number 55, Natalie Terwilliger, put up a shot there for the Captains, and her shot was just a little forced. Ended up with a miss that the Thunder capitalized on with an Annika Richardson layup.
Yeah, great job by the Thunder to recognize that the Captains are struggling a little bit in the paint right now, and then to convert it to the other end and score in the paint, which again was how they were getting most of their points in the first half. The Captains are going to stall here with 10 seconds to go, try to get the last shot of the game.
Gabby Sandiego pulls up from the three-point line, and her three-point attempt is short. The Thunder will have the ball to end the third quarter, and the Thunder, after giving up quite a few points in this second half, this third quarter, excuse me, have pulled their deficit back to 13.
Yeah, great quarter by the Thunder. This is the first quarter that they actually won. Christopher Newport only scoring 12 points in the third, and Wheaton with 14. So slim, but still a slight win for the Thunder, and we'll see if they can keep it up in the fourth, get some more stops, and be a little bit more aggressive on offense. Again, a little bit smarter with their shot selection and try to get some good shots in the fourth quarter here.
Yeah, I think after the Thunder came out of that earlier timeout in the third quarter, we saw just a lot more disciplined shot creation and shot selection, and that resulted in quite a few points for the Thunder, including some much needed action from Annika Richardson, the freshman, very prolific scorer already in her early Thunder career. Hannah Swider also hit from downtown, while Christopher Newport went cold right there at the end after that timeout. Took quite a few three-point attempts, and none of which hit. The Thunder will now look to go into this down just 13 with 10 minutes left to play. Another factor to keep an eye on is fouls. Christopher Newport having been a bit more undisciplined in this second half so far when it comes to fouls. Fouled the Thunder quite a few times. We'll now see what this final quarter holds for these two teams. Gabby Sandiego will start with the ball for the Captains.
Also just hoping to see the Wheaton bench kind of step up in this fourth quarter. Still no bench players with points on the board tonight. Just that core starting five contributing to the Thunder. So it'd be nice to see more of a collective effort from the Thunder in this fourth quarter, similar to how Christopher Newport's been playing. If you look at all of their games throughout the season, they pretty much score pretty evenly across their roster, which is very impressive, especially with the amount that they sub in. And that's number 55, Natalie Terwilliger, with more points in the paint. Ellie Castle will try to answer, but she's just short. And Christopher Newport's back with the ball here to start the fourth.
This will be a deep three-point attempt from Felicia McInnes, and her shot is no good. But after a sequence, the Captains end up with the ball after the offensive rebound. It'll be Gabby Sandiego starting the possession once again. Ball back with McInnes, guarded by Hannah Swider.
Shot clock wearing down here. You can hear the Captains bench loud.
Great work from the Thunder, forcing a bad shot at the end of the shot clock once again, as Brenda Rill, off of a nice pass from Hannah Swider. Swider gets the assist, and Brenda Rill gets the bucket.
Her first points of the game, the freshman out of Colorado, able to get down on the other end of the court. Nice to see that energy and being able to still run here in this fourth quarter.
The game back now to within 13 as Ellie Castle gets called for the foul, kind of hanging along the back of Natalie Terwilliger.
Yeah, Castle obviously fronting down low as the Thunder tend to do in the paint, but that lob pass got to Terwilliger, and Castle just got a little too anxious to get back and jumped on her back. So that'll be Castle's, I believe, third foul of the game. Wheaton's second of this fourth quarter.
And after that last foul, Caroline Sicking subbed in for Annika Richardson as McInnes hits from deep once again for her captain's team.
The Thunder with a good job breaking the press there, able to get pretty much a wide open pass to Castle at half court, as they will now move the ball, try to get some points on the board. Caroline Sicking does just that with a nice floater in the middle of the paint. Exactly what her team needs, and she's right back at it on the other end. as Christopher Newport will take a timeout here to discuss what they need to do as Wheaton's starting to step it up. Now just down 43-57 Captains with 8 minutes to go here in the fourth here in King Arena.
Yeah, Wheaton down just 14 with a little over 8 minutes left to go in this game, and they're showing some impressive chops here, not giving up, fighting for every chance at the ball. We saw in that last offensive possession that ended with Caroline Sickink scoring. There were a few moments where the ball could have easily ended up in the hands of the Captains, but the hustle from the Thunder ended up with them getting multiple shot attempts at the basket. Great to see that attitude of perseverance here from the Thunder players as they will look to try and swing the momentum even more their direction to get this game even closer. Gabby Sandiego with the ball for the Captains. She's had a bit of a struggling night when it comes to shooting. Pass down low intended for Simmons from McInnes is tipped away by Hannah Swider.
The Captains with just 10 seconds here on the shot clock as they will inbound it, and Kaylee Hermanson's going to sub in for Ellie Castle now. Hermanson, a junior transfer from Chico State, her first season with the Thunder, has seen a lot of nice playing time so far.
The Captains once again find themselves in a familiar situation from this game with an expiring shot clock, but unfortunately are able to end up with some points. Simmons fighting against a double team there is able to get her own miss, put it back up for points, and with the foul as well, she'll look for a third point to tack on here. She goes to the free throw line.
Yeah, a couple of really athletic plays in a row there for Simmons to wrap around, try to get that layup, miss, but grab her own board and then get to the other side of the paint to put it up and then finish here for the three-point play for her team as they now lead by 17 in the fourth.
And she is able to convert on that free throw, giving her the three-point play as Wheaton now looks to answer. Down 17 now to the Captains. And that'll be a travel called on Hannah Swider.
Yeah, a little stutter step there by Swider. Got too excited to pull up and move both of her feet before shooting that shot. That'll be the Thunder's, let me see here, their 28th turnover of the game. The Captains with 28 points off of those turnovers. So turnovers have really hurt the Thunder so far. And they will foul down low. That's Lily Schwinn with the foul.
Lily Schwinn still standing up against the much taller number 23 Hannah Kaloy. Tried to stop Kaloy, but unfortunately ended up getting called for the foul. The four remaining Captains on the court conversing as Kaloy misses her first free throw. Annika Richardson will get ready to sub in for the Thunder.
The Captains clearly struggling from the free throw line tonight, shooting just under 45%, whereas the Thunder are capitalizing with their free throws, shooting just about 86% from the free throw line. Kaylee Hermanson just short with the layup with the pass from the freshman Bryn Durrell, who will end up fouling on the other end of the court.
Yeah, and that was a nice pass from Durrell, but unfortunately, Kayla Hermanson could just not get it to fall. Her shot looked a little awkward. She had a defender right on her. But we hope to see more of those fast break opportunities. Wheaton has played pretty well in transition tonight, especially the passing, some really on-the-mark passes from strong guard play from the Thunder. Just some struggles to convert some of those transition opportunities as Hannah Kaloy will shoot free throws again. She makes her free throw.
Yeah, Wheaton currently beating the Captains in fast break points with 13 so far tonight. Again, we just like to see them show a little bit more maturity on the other end with those fast breaks, maybe slowing it down, getting a better shot selection like that shot from Caroline Sickink, maybe just a little too soon.
Yeah, Sickink shot attempt just off of the rim as number 22, Jovia Winky, finishing an impressive layup against contact.
And Annika Richardson answering on the other end with a nice layup here. She jumps up, kind of levitates. Looks like it might be a charge, but it's not. She's inside the arc, so that'll send Annika Richardson to the line to finish the three-point play here.
Yeah, and that prevents Wheaton from going into a 20-point hole. Certainly happy to see that, as Richardson will shoot a free throw here to try and convert the and one. And she does.
Richardson now leading the Thunder with 16 points tonight, the freshman out of Minnesota.
Christopher Newport will look to make something happen here. Working against tough defense from the Thunder, getting a taste of their own medicine to some degree. As Gabby San Diego communicating with her coach on the sideline. Shot clock now under 10 seconds. McInnes gets the handoff and works in. Shot clock expiring. Hannah Kaloy, three-point attempt, no good, but rebounded by the captains.
And she'll get fouled as she falls down here after grabbing that board. That's Annika Richardson's third foul of the game. Wheaton's fifth of this quarter, which will put the captains in the bonus.
Yeah, Coach Kent Madsen rubbing his head after that foul call. Obviously a little frustrated.
That foul will send Olivia Giles to the line. She's a 6'1" sophomore forward out of Suffolk, Virginia, averaging about 6 points per game. She'll miss her first. What's so interesting, Josh, about this Christopher Newport team is they're so deep, and just about all of their players average about 5 or 6 points per game, which is so impressive. Just with the amount that they sub, a lot of their players are seeing time and they're contributing on the court, but she'll miss both of her free throws as the captains continue to struggle from the free throw line tonight. And the Thunder will try to get it over here. We've got a foul on 0, I believe. That's Felicia McInnes.
Coach Broderick of the captains, frustrated, telling his players to stop reaching on those press moments. And like you said, Amelia, we have seen some really balanced scoring. Christopher Newport with 2 players in double figures, but multiple players after that over 5 points, just getting some very even contributions from players that are even playing little minutes, as Caroline Sickink gets more points for herself.
Sickink now with 15 points here.
Sickink
13.
Sickink been very effective tonight in the paint.
Yeah, we've seen some nice floaters from her as Lily Schwinn will block the shot down low. Her team loves that. Great athletic play by Schwinn to get there and then jump up in the air and get all ball on that shot.
Yeah, Schwinn with just some great defensive presence there. Positioned her body perfectly to be able to block San Diego, and what would have been her underhand layup attempt, was able to just get over there and block it without fouling. Great to see that from Lily Schwinn. Kaylee Hermanson gets the ball tipped away, and it'll be out on Christopher Newport. Coach Broderick visibly upset with that.
And it looks like it was last touched by Hermanson, so it'll go back to the captains.
Very clear from the sideline here that players on both teams feeling quite fatigued after playing lots of minutes this game at a very high pace and high level of intensity. We have just under 5 minutes left in this game. Sandra Fan will pull up from deep for the three-point attempt, and that'll come off the front of the rim, rebounded by Annika Richardson.
Yeah, that short shot, just another example of how they're feeling a little fatigued. Don't quite have the legs that they had in the first half. Still playing tough, though, and with a lot of energy. Annika Richardson, though, looks like she stepped out of bounds before shooting that shot, which will give the ball back to the captains.
Her heel just hit that back line right before she took that three-point attempt. Gabby San Diego will once again run the point for the captains. Just over 4 minutes left in this game. The Thunder with 48 points, the captains with 64. Natalie Terwilliger Her three-point attempt no good. She struggled from deep tonight despite quite a few attempts.
Nice job there, though, by Anaya Simmons to grab that offensive board over a couple of Thunder defenders to give her team another chance at it here with under 4 minutes to go. They'll swing the ball around.
San Diego seeing the mismatch against Caroline Sickink, using her speed to get past Caroline Sickink on that drive. Able to finish. Hannah Swider getting through the press as Annika Richardson's three-point attempt is blocked by Simmons. Good defensive awareness by Simmons there to just challenge that attempt from Richardson. The captains have picked up on what the Thunder are trying to do right now, trying to get up some shots to try and lessen this deficit of points.
And looks like we have a charge here. Again, Anaya Simmons just playing great. Lots of great efforts on both ends of the court here. Rebounding, blocking shots, and then taking a charge for her team in the fourth quarter. Very impressive.
Yeah, Simmons with 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 0 fouls. So she's had a very effective game for her team, just 1 rebound away from a double-double. She's been, like you said, Amelia, an all-around contributor to her team as her teammate Sandra Fan takes a shot attempt and takes another off of the offensive rebound from Natalie Terwilliger. And Sandra Fan makes good on her three-point attempt after her first missed one. Wheaton will push up the court again, and
another charge there by the captains. Again, just doing the little things to continue to extend their lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, you can tell by watching this captain's team that they are very aware of how to exploit everything out of their press strategy. Quite a few charges being called this game around the mid-court area, just taking advantage of Wheaton players being a little too aggressive, a little too quick down the court, and being unaware of a player stepping in front of them. As Paris Cheney, the senior from Batavia, Illinois, subs in for the Thunder. She is guarding at the top of the key on Gabby San Diego as Simmons, who's had a great night again, gets the ball. And that pass is just undisciplined. And that'll be Thunder ball.
Annika Richardson subbing out of the game as she had 5 fouls.
Caroline Sickink unloads from mid-range, just a few steps inside the three-point line. She makes good on her shot. She's had a great night scoring-wise. She is now at 15 points. 17, excuse me, now the Thunder's leading scorer. Just 1 point more than Annika Richardson, the freshman. Natalie Terwilliger with the ball once again for her captain's team. She hands off to Sandra Fan. Defensive switch for the Thunder. Cheney closes out on Sandra Fan, and Sandra Fan's miss is her attempt. Excuse me, that was Gabby San Diego on the three-point attempt. Hannah Swider comes down after an offensive series.
Nice job by Lily Schwinn there to gather the ball, and Coach Madsen will call a timeout for his team to set up their next offensive play as the Thunder now down by 19 with 1:48 to go here in the game, and they'll put some substitutions in.
Yeah, a good chance to just regroup with this Thunder squad. Christopher Newport not willing to let up on the gas pedal tonight, just playing with intensity at every moment. Certainly it's clear why they are such a formidable team, and barring an incredible Wheaton comeback, they will likely be escaping King Arena tonight with their 18th win on the season, keeping them undefeated. Wheaton will put in a slew of substitutions for their team.
We've got Maya Adwell-Parker, the freshman, Rachel Brady, sophomore out of Wheaton, Illinois, Hannah Turner, junior from Texas, Paris Cheney out of Illinois, and Alexis Martin, the freshman out of New York, all in for the Thunder now for these last 2 minutes of the game.
It's good to see some of these younger newer players to the Thunder program getting some PT at the end of this one. Certainly never hurts to get experience as the Thunder move the ball around. Trying to get a look at the basket.
Alexis Martin with a great play, kind of splitting the defense there, able to get to the hoop. She is on the scout team in practice and is usually beating the starters with a move just like that. So great to see her putting that in a game, especially against the #1 team in the country. Very promising for Coach Madsen to see a freshman with a play like that. As Paris Cheney, the senior out of Batavia, will steal the ball, get it ahead to Maya Adwell-Parker, who will unfortunately get blocked, but it'll be another possession here for the Thunder with a minute to go here in the fourth.
Yeah, good to see that even when you put in some of your bench players, they can provide some intensity like we saw there from Martin on her finish, which was really impressive, again, against a tough defense. We saw the same intensity and awareness from Paris Cheney, picking off that pass down low, getting it to Adwell-Parker, who unfortunately was blocked by Ng. But again, good to see this good PT from their players. And like you said, Amelia, Coach Madsen certainly will be happy to see some impressive work from players that are not necessarily warm, but coming in and giving some quality minutes off the bench.
Yeah, the captains now turn it over. 3-second call there, which will get it back in the hands of the Thunder. Hannah Turner's going to inbound it to Paris Cheney.
Hannah Turner now taking the ball up the court, working against the press. Great moves from Turner.
And she'll draw the foul. Oh, it almost falls, but not quite, which will send her to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Turner wove her way there through 3 or 4 defenders. The ball was just one more lucky bounce away from giving her an and one, but Turner will find her way to the free throw line, Does not make her first, with the bench encouraging her nonetheless. Happy to see her getting some impressive moves off the bench as we have just under 30 seconds left in this one. Turner makes the second, giving her a point off of the bench for her team. The Thunder now with 53 to the captain's 69. This is Jessica Foster dribbling out the clock against Maya Adwell-Parker.
And that looks like that'll be the game, folks. Christopher Newport will continue their winning streak as they beat the Thunder tonight in King Arena 69-53 with quite the game as they traveled up to the Chicagoland area. And it was a good game tonight. The Thunder gave a great effort, but unfortunately just could not beat that captain's chaos press. The captains forcing 33 turnovers against the Thunder tonight. Josh, what would you have to say after watching this game? A great effort by both teams, but what do you think contributed to this ultimate win from Christopher Newport?
Yeah, I think there was some great play from both teams. Wheaton just did not give up, and they contributed on every end of the floor. We saw the early loss of Taylor Sanders to an injury. Certainly did not help, but she's a great contributor, but her team still played well. Sanders, by the way, is back on the court. Good to see her back out with her team.
Yeah, and great to see head coach Bill Broderick go over and hug Sanders. Yep. Great sportsmanship there by the Christopher Newport coach.
Yeah, and both teams again played well, but Wheaton just had a few too many mistakes that they couldn't overcome, especially against that really difficult press. But overall, good to see Wheaton get a great game in against a very difficult opponent and to match up with them quite well. Wheaton played a really good game. Certainly a good test that they will learn from and take into their next game. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for the action between the CCIW Women's Wheaton Thunder and the #1 ranked Christopher Newport University Captains, who remain undefeated on the season, now standing at 18-0. Thank you for joining us on WTSN. This has been Josh Beisel and Amelia Sniffen bringing you this broadcast of women's basketball action, and we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.